You are about to get a tour of a fully outfitted fleet carrier, but before that, you get escorted to your seat. If you haven't taken one already, the fleet carrier will teleport you to a seat. This will be the commander's seat if you own the fleet carrier. Alternatively, it will be a random seat in the viewing area if you are a passenger. Simply put, you have to be seated for the jump sequence. At any rate, you're here for a tour of the fleet carrier. First over, we've got to outfit it, and we got a few new modules that we're going to need to install. In fact, I need to install pretty much all the modules. I keep these uninstalled because I prefer to have the money in my bank. So there's 4 Odyssey-based modules. 3 are new, 1 is the old one. The old one is a Shipyard, reinvented to have the ability to walk around. The other 3 are the Concourse Bar, the Vista Geonomics, as well as a Pioneer Supplies. Now, all of these will be familiar to you as they are available on space stations as well as ground bases, but nonetheless, we can now add them to a fleet carrier. So these are going to be pretty expensive. I wanted to outfit the fleet carrier in full. I think I already had 1 or 2 modules already installed, but most of them were not previously installed. Anyway, I spent 1,365,000,000 credits installing the fleet carrier modules. Pretty expensive. The good news is that if you decide you no longer want them, you can get a full refund, get all your money back basically on the modules that you want to uninstall. The bad news is that Odyssey still has some performance issues. Just trying to escape back to the menu there, hoping that would fix things, but no. This was just after I'd installed the modules, so maybe some weirdness had gone on with these loading in. So this is running on a Ryzen 3700X with a GTX RTX at 2080S. Handles every other game perfectly fine, but still, even after 11 updates, has big problems with Odyssey. Yeah, I know some people are going to be okay with 30 frames a second, but it did drop to around about 25 frames a second a few times there as well, so still some significant issues there. These can be fixed by logging out back to the main menu and loading up again, whereby, well, you can see the frame rate's a little bit low there until everything's loaded in, and then we're good to go again. Anytime now. Yes, it's going to take a few moments. So yeah, still some performance optimizations needed, or maybe it's just poor code base at the end of the day, and not much is going to be able to be done about that to fix it. Still, that's not the focus of this video. It is all about the tour. We're right here just outside the hangar bay, so let's get moving forward. So as with space stations, fleet carriers are vast ships, very, very big. Unfortunately, we can't walk around the entirety of the fleet carrier. Kind of makes sense from a development perspective. After all, having your very own personal city in space with everything that would entail may be just a little bit too much to ask. So here we are in the bar. This is quite a different layout to what we've seen so far elsewhere within the game. Basically, it's got its own unique bar. But functionality-wise, it is all the same. We've got some NPCs just hanging around here. I don't think any of these will give you missions. Unlike when you go to a space station, you can pick up missions. You can't pick these up from fleet carriers, unfortunately. So it still means you're going to need to return to civilization in order to do that. So yeah, I'd kind of like to see some mission givers out this way so you could take them along with you. I guess that may present its own problems though for the mission generation system, as those missions would need to be relevant somehow to the lack of civilization and the vast depths of unknown space. So moving back to the main corridor here, we got Pioneer Supplies over on the other side. We can't customize the position of these modules. It looks like they're all fixed. Pioneer Supplies will come fully fixed. You don't have to manage stock of these. Kind of happy about that actually. I'd rather not get into all the hassle of managing stock. There we go, we got pretty much all the weapons. We don't get anything above grade 1 unfortunately, but pretty much that's to be expected. We've also got some of the, or 3 of the suits that are available. The Dominator, the Maverick, and the Artemis. In addition to that, we can upgrade suits and upgrade weapons, as well as sell both of those. And we've got the consumables available as well. Everything is available aside from the e-breach.
That everything?
Yep, that's everything. And we're going to move on to the next room, down the corridor on the right here, where we will have the Shipyard. Now, functionality-wise, this works exactly the same as the Shipyard does from the fleet carrier menu. Got a nice little table there with a holographic display. Down here, we've got a ship-launched fighter. We can't actually use that. It's for display purposes only, but a nice touch to the shipyard. Just makes it feel a little bit more like a showroom, perhaps. You can interact with the display here. Just change the display hologram. Get a little bit of information there. If you can hear that, not sure if the audio is coming through on the video. Over on the right, we've got 3 different kiosks. All of these do exactly the same job, allow us to manage our ships via the shipyard menu. So I'm not going to go too much into that because at this point I'm sure you know all about how that works. And finally, we've got the 4th module. So just 4 rooms we can equip to our fleet carrier, and that is Vista Geonomics over here on the far left-hand side of the fleet carrier. That's to the port, I guess I should say, rather than the left. And here we can sell all our biological data that we may scan whilst out on the planetary services. So this, I feel, is going to be particularly valuable, particularly important to people who like to explore the depths of space, explore planetary surfaces, and go scanning plants and the other biological things that you can find out there. So that's pretty much it. That is the entirety of the fleet carrier. Very quick look here at the kiosk. And again, you can see this is different to what you'll find on space stations. Instead, we've got fleet carrier management, redemption office, and we can edit our avatar, and it tells us what services are available on this particular fleet carrier. And that's, like I say, pretty much it. We've got the viewing lounge right at the front again in the command deck, and the ready room up the top, as well as the command deck, which we've already seen, from which we can access our jumps. So yeah, a few rooms there to take a look at. So basically a mini space station which we can walk around and take with us on our journeys across the galaxy, no matter where they are. That pretty much covers our tour of the fleet carrier. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.